Hey Scorpio, welcome to your December 2020 reading, and welcome to Sagittarius season. How are ya? How was your birthday? My birthday, personally, was amazing, and I hope you can say the same. Eight of Pentacles, first card out. Nine of Cups. Okay. I feel like Scorpio exiting your season, entering Sag season, you feel very independent. You feel very in a zone, very focused, and not very concerned with much to do with anybody outside of like your immediate circle, like your family, but mostly like nothing outside of you. Eight of Pentacles is you really being focused on the work, on the bag, on the act of multiplying. I feel like Scorpio right now, you have um, you've built yourself into a somewhat stable and like a secure place, even if it isn't as secure and as secure as you would like it to be. It's still something for you to work with and something for you to build off of. And I think that's really the space that you're in, coming off the heels of your season. Nine of Cups. You are emotionally feeling pretty good, feeling very again, I feel like there's a bit of imbalance when it comes to your emotional realm, Scorpio. I feel like you have a excess here. I feel like you have a lot of energy right now, a lot of emotions, and I feel like you're kind of holding on to them. You aren't really expressing them back out. I don't feel like you're doing this necessarily to be spiteful. I just feel like again you're in a very in a very independent part of your life right now, and the Eight of Pentacles can kind of breed this space. You know, you're kind of in a space of just wanting to work and wanting to do the thing, and it's easier to kind of be alone during that. It's just important to not get don't be cold while in this space. I think rather than the Nine of Cups being the space that you occupy, Nine of Pentacles is a much warmer version of that. The Nine of Pentacles is still somebody who's very independent and somebody who's very focused on themselves. The Nine of Pentacles is somebody who's more willing to indulge in their manifestations a little bit, not be so laser focused on um, expanding, but more so enjoying and basking in the expansion. Um, this is still an approachable figure. The Knight of Pentacles isn't necessarily looking to be approached by anybody, but the Nine of Pentacles is more approachable. Oh my god, I was thinking of that word. Is more approachable than the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is kind of like, oh, I have all of this energy and I'm kind of just sitting here with it. Like, I could care less if you come near me, care less if you don't even try it. Don't even try it. I'm chilling. And in some regard, this will be a good energy to hold this month, depending on the person, right? Or thing. But the Nine of Pentacles is still very much, I don't give a fuck. But it's a little more like, it's a party going on over here. If you come and you match the vibe, you can stay. I'm good though. I am good. Did I tell you I was good? But you can stay. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. There's a level of security that remains the same in both cards, right? But what is different is where the security is being directed. You know, the Nine of Cups is a security, but feeling the need to hold on to it. The Nine of Pentacles is a security and not feeling the need to bogart it. It's just a fact that it's there. You aren't necessarily feeling the need to guard its every move. You know what I mean? It's like those, I hate to compare it to this, but like, it's like those super pretty couples, right? Couples where both people are very attractive, right? And each person is secure in the fact that, you know, they're with somebody that's attractive rather than being kind of intimidated by the fact that other people may find their partner attractive. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. There's a little bit of there's a physical, like, security with knowing that the Nine of Cups are around you, but emotionally, on the vibe level, this person is insecure. Is insecure about their ability to keep the Nine of Cups, which is why they're going out of their way to kind of protect them. Whereas the Nine of Pentacles is just kind of out in the open, you know. Whoever, whatever is around her wants to be around her. Death. There you are. This month, Scorpio, let's see. This month requires a bit of refinement on your part. I feel like it's worth mentioning that, you know, we are fixed signs, and so it could be counted for that as soon as we enter a new space, it's not going to be very much longer before we need to once again transform within it and adapt and adjust. I'm not saying that this is necessarily like a huge transformation, but what I'm saying is I feel like in recent months there's been a lot of coming into alignment and coming into equilibrium with your highest self. And it's important to stay on top of yourself throughout this journey. I feel like the 9 of Cups and 9 of Pentacles balance is one that is going to require a bit of that death card energy on your end to transform. I feel like in the past few months, in the building up of the new way of being, you have already kind of laid certain habits down that you're not really a fan of, things that you want to transform a little bit more, things that you want to tweak. That's kind of what the 8 of Pentacles is all about as well. It's going in and doing the work to the circumstances. If you need to tweak things, you need to tweak them. I don't think it's, like I said, a major overhaul, but it is definitely something where you need to smooth over a few things. I feel like the 9 of Pentacles is a space that you want to be in all the time, and I feel like right now you're kind of you're trying to play off the fact that you're feeling like the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is kind of something that, like, you feel it and you kind of want to not acknowledge it because you've done all this work, and for the most part you feel pretty good. For the most part you do feel pretty good, and you feel like you're in a pretty good routine with everything, and that is true. You are. But you sense that deep knowing that we always get when something needs to kind of change. Okay. The moon. So, the moon. December 14th, we have a new moon in Sagittarius. And on December 29th, we have a full moon in Cancer. The new moon in Sag is going to be a really good way for you to kind of restructure these things that you're wanting to restructure. The 5 of Swords, right? The 5 of Swords in reverse. Well, let's talk about the 5 of Swords first. The 5 of Swords sometimes can be when you know that you have kind of cut some corners. You know that you've kind of half-assed something. I think what makes it fall into the reverse is because, again, you don't really want to admit to yourself that it's half-assed. Because I think that the issue here is that you didn't intentionally cut corners, right? You did the thing to, like, full capacity, right? Like, transformation is ugly. Like, we get it. It doesn't always look how we want it to look. That's fine. But I feel like sometimes when we have to come to grips with the fact that, like, okay, we may have to spend a little bit more time or go back into this specific area and transmute it further, right? We can get into this space of it ultimately is taken from us because we're refusing to see it for what it is, which means that we're prolonging this inevitable, right? This inevitable transformation, right? What is a transformation? It's just putting to death this certain idea or dream of something. Sorry about that. What I was saying is sometimes this is coming to the realization or having to realize within yourself that you aren't 100% where it is that you want to be. or not necessarily want to be, but like I hate saying should be. What I mean by should be is like you clearly know that on an integral level you fell short on something. You fell short, um, or I don't even want to say are falling short, but like you are not operating in 100% integrity. You know what I mean? This sometimes means you having to go over and scrap something that you invested a lot of time into to then rebuild it from the ground up, which then means it's going to take more time and energy out of you. And that sometimes is something that you don't want to like even face. You just kind of want to put your head. Sorry. But that's something that the Five of Swords in the reverse is really talking about. Is like those things that you don't really want to face, for whatever reason, because in your head it may seem too overwhelming to have to face right now. But Scorpio, I want to tell you that nothing is too overwhelming for you to face. You can do it. You are in more of a space of mental unrest when you are kind of circulating your brain with the ideas that you could have done better and could actively do better, and you're actively avoiding doing that. Especially if it's something that really does mean a lot to you, you know. And not even if it like not only like pertaining to like work and projects, but I'm talking like this is more so on your just your greater path. Like I feel like there are certain things in your routine even right now, certain things in your routine just day to day that aren't making you feel as good as maybe they once did. And so it's time to kind of transform those routines and discover new ones. You know what I mean? Even those little things that make you feel secure may feel hard to kind of walk away from, and may feel like you don't want to face them because for whatever reason you just want to kind of cling on to the way that it was, the way that it has been working. Because again, especially if since you've been in this like transition period, you know, a lot of these things now that you may have to like transform and let go of are now kind of new things that kind of bring security. So you've already let go of the old stuff that you don't resonate with anymore. But now this is kind of stuff that may have helped you in a time of or helped you through this time of transition. And so now it's kind of like, damn, I like just implemented this thing that made me feel like on top of my shit, and I'm already having to kind of transform it. Like I don't really want to right now. It's kind of like that stuff, that sort of stuff. Does that make sense? Yeah, I hope that makes sense. We're just gonna go with that. Any further clarification, I feel like I'm going to be talking in circles. So, the moon. How this ties in with the moon. Around the time of the full moon, or I'm sorry, the new moon on the 15th, 14th. The new moon on December 14th is a way for you to lay the new groundwork for these things you need to transform. We have a full moon in Gemini coming up here tomorrow. I think this will be up by then. But full moon in Gemini on November 30th. I feel like the period between the full moon in Gemini on the 30th to the new moon in Sag on December 14th is going to be a time of you kind of breaking down what isn't really working, what's kind of been a, let's say, like a stepping stone. I feel like there are certain energies in your life that have been serving as stepping stones in between, like, your past self and your new self that you're growing into, and certain habits and certain routines and certain, um, may I even say rituals that you do that just do not align anymore. These things I feel like you are aware of. You already kind of feel, again, like I was saying with Nine of Cups, you already kind of feel insecure about these false, like, senses of security or stability or feeling evolved. And up until, in this period of the full moon to the new moon, you're kind of shedding these things and getting yourself into a space of openness. And by the time the new moon comes along, you are laying down the new intentions of how to embody more of this Nine of Pentacles space. Does this make sense? Like, there needs to be a filtering out in order for the new to come forward. And the first few weeks of December really serve as that for you. The full moon is really going to bring you to a, and I know I'm referencing the full moon here in November, but because it's right at the beginning, it will play a huge part into the first week of December for you. It really is going to help you become ultra clear on these things that you have already felt bubbling underneath the surface that you need to cut out. And so you cut them out and you really lean into that death card energy and face the things that you have been actively trying to avoid. And you let the ensuing period of the new moon act as a tool for you to diligently kind of pound away and work in those new settings, right? Those new routines that make you feel safe and uplifted. What are those new routines, you might ask? I don't know. As a Scorpio sun, I don't know. I feel like Sag season is what is going to, and the transition of Sag season is going to be the teacher for you, the guiding light that helps you discover what these new things are. You know what I mean? I feel like Sag season, the reason why this is happening in Sag season is because this is optimal time for you to be in a space of discovery, in discovering what it is that you want to fill your life with now. Scorpio season is a really intense time and really, even though it's fun, it's a very intense energy and it makes you face a lot. So even though you may have transformed and really come into your new light in your season, it's not really a time of integrating a lot of new air into the mix, right? That's what Sag season is for. You're now kind of settled into your new skin and can kind of run around and explore explore your new hapsuit, right? Explore your new realm, what works, what doesn't work, what excites you, what doesn't excite you. So it may feel really uncomfortable right now, and as most transformations do feel uncomfortable, especially as they're approaching their like crescendo of, like, that moment right before the big transformation. Um, you may have felt a bit under the weather, a bit sluggish ending November and coming into December. You may have felt a bit. I don't think you're giving off this light, but again, I just feel like the Nine of Cups is stemming from a deeper insecurity, and I feel like you don't like that you're feeling insecure right now. And so if you are feeling that way, just it's okay, write it out. It'll dissipate as we transition and as the moon wanes. And once the time of the new moon comes on December 14th, you really are going to feel in this deeply creative, deeply explorative space. And that's going to be where you can kind of now build out uh, bottom of the deck, where you can Three of Pentacles, where you can kind of build that that new groundwork for yourself, that new stability for yourself. You know, these are things that, again, you may do on a daily basis, little routines, little rituals, little things that you do throughout the day that uplift your spirit and uplift your frequency. So what it is that you're discovering and exploring through this month is slowly turning into your new, like, day-to-day, daily kind of routine. The Three of Pentacles is about breeding healthy conversation between different parties, right? So this is different elements of your life that are able to coexist with each other and kind of be upheld and uplifted by these things that you're implementing. Things that make you feel like you have a stable enough foundation to rest upon, you know? There are different things that you like to fill your day with that serve different purposes. And rest assured in knowing that in giving up and shedding away, you know, the old set of what has made you feel comfortable in your day-to-day and what uplifts you in your most intimate of spaces, that those things are being reborn and elevated this month. And that once December 14th comes around, you are really going to feel that shift energetically of that baton being now in your hands and up to you on how you dream up and implement and discover these new things that you consistently fold into your routine. That's what the Knight of Wands is all about. You know, you are going to exit December with new ways of existing and new ways of living your day-to-day life. And I think that's really great, because all of that just in turn is setting you up for this new stage, right? You're laying the foundation to a life that is going to follow you for the next few years. So this is a really exciting time. What you're discovering you love doing today and tomorrow may be in 4 years, 5 years, what you are like throwing yourself into every day. What you discover brings you peace and tranquility now and like tomorrow or this month will potentially in 3 years, 5 years be the same thing that you know in your day you can rely on to be a moment of clarity for you. So don't get too wrapped up in the seriousness of it, because it is going to be a subtle thing. But definitely, definitely take it for what it's worth and recognize that, like, it's important to be authentic and be very, act in integrity during this time. Only really fold into your daily mix what it is that interests you, what it is that sparks that passion within you. Don't sell yourself short. Like, let that seriousness kind of, be the driving force behind your level of authenticity. you know like, this isn't stuff that you're just like half-ass doing right now for the hell of it. Like, this is stuff that has the potential to like really help you transform your life in the next few years. The little routines that you set in place now have the ability to help you draw towards you, what it is you've been wanting to draw towards you your entire life. So, very, very important energy. But in true Sagittarian like, fashion, it comes through in a very sporadic, lighthearted way. You're not even going to feel all the weight that it carries all this month. But let this reading be a little doorway into that perspective for you. Okay. But yeah, I love you, Scorpio. I know this is a bit of a longer reading. Um, I hope it resonates, and I hope it all makes sense. But I love you so much, and I will see you in January. Have a really great December.